Hey guys, what is up and welcome back to my channel. Normally I'd open this by saying another day, another drama, but this situation is way more than that. This isn't even a dumpster fire. At this point, the entire landfill is ablaze. So yesterday when I logged onto Twitter and I saw this tweet from Petty Page is when everything started. Page tweeted, "I'm not Will's biggest fan, but T-Trigger and that gang are all the same people who called me an anti-Semitic racist. He's targeted and harassed me on his channel for months on end. He called at Sayeret an animal. I stopped talking to conspiracy account as every question would revolve around at SpillSeshYT and trying to find out her identity. What started as some harmless fun trying to connect the dots between Morgan Adams and Spill turned into a real doxing. I stopped responding. I haven't spoken to them in months, and the DMs have gone. So for all of this to be connected with this gang, it's nuts and unsurprising. They all need to seek professional help, and I mean this without trying to diagnose. They're way too invested in this stuff. Like, way too invested. The kid is 15. Y'all are gross." So as I'm sure all of you are who haven't been following this story or started in the middle of the story, you are completely lost about what happened, as was I. So I hopped over to Will's Twitter to find out what was going on, and here is what Will had to say. Will tweeted, "I'm 15 and y'all are downloading all my Insta pics, all my tweets, all my friends and family's tweets, and pics. The hell is wrong with you? Someone sent me these receipts on adults who have been stalking me. These screenshots are from them dissecting my Instagram pictures. They talk about a tattoo on my arm, which is just a Sharpie my friend drew on me in class. Y'all are psychos." And then in the screenshot, you see T-Trigger sending a picture of Will to Elli with a text that says, "Look at his arm." Elli replies back with a link to Amazon where you can get temporary tattoo sleeves, and she says, "My guess is it's a fake sleeve." My thing is, why does this matter at all? This is a child. Why are you looking into this child? It makes absolutely no sense. You both are grown adults. There's no reason why you should be going through a child's Instagram and their Twitter dissecting their photos. That's extremely creepy. Will continued on by tweeting, "Here are some messages between two people trying to prove I'm not a child by stalking me. At TTriggerYT and at LNR3, y'all are adults, stop being creeps and get a life. T-Trigger, you have a wife and kids. Do better." And then some screenshots of their conversation from the previous day were released, and this is what they said. T-Trigger, "I'll look into how it's done. All of this is so weird. The Will account is very suspect to me now." Elli, "Great. I'm trying to remember if he ever approximately said where he is from. I never trusted Will." T-Trigger, "Never." Elli, "None of his story made sense to me. Ever." T-Trigger, "We think there's a big catfish going on here. We're going to download all of Will's pics. Some look photoshopped, but very well made Photoshop." Elli, "They never looked natural. Exactly. Professional quality editing." So we have here technically 3 full-grown adults in their 30s because T-Trigger and his wife are both behind that account, and Elli, and they're dissecting a 15-year-old's pictures to try to prove that they are photoshopped and that they are not real and that he is a catfish. Then let's be honest, most of the photos that get put onto the internet are not real because most of them have a filter on them at this point, so all of them are photoshopped. So any photo that has a filter on it is technically considered photoshopped. So the fact that you're saying these look like they're professionally quality edited and stuff, like, come on. It's literally a picture of him and his friend jumping on a beach. I don't see any professional quality editing to this photo. And the fact that you literally said, T-Trigger, you and your wife are going to download all of this child's photos to dissect them is extremely creepy. But it doesn't stop there, it gets much worse. Will continued on with the following. T-Trigger's wife pretended to be my friend for months and screenshotted all our messages and screen recorded all our audio messages. They are insane. Do yourself a favor and block them. This is high-key. I'm 15, you sick. They have been doing this for months while pretending to have a moral high ground. Elli is the same person who drove at allegedly Angelo off Twitter with her false doxing allegations. T-Trigger is now private and conspiracy. His wife, who pretended to be my friend, deactivated her account. Bye. Fun fact, the wife doxed one of my anonymous friends about a year ago. What a twisted family. If Elli or T-Trigger or his wife Ivy try to do anything to me, just know that I will do everything I can legally to hold them accountable. I've let my parents know what's going on. This is a warning. Elli then quote tweets one of Will's tweets and said, "I provided the screenshot because I'm not avoiding accountability for my part. I want to publicly apologize to Will. I should have stopped this right then and there." But this is just Elli trying to save face, saying that she should have stopped it right then and there because T-Trigger shouldn't have ever brought it up, basically, and that she should have said, "No, we need to stop this." But this is a pattern of behavior with Elli, which we'll discuss later on in Elli's video. Will quote tweeted Elli's tweet and said, "Who in their right mind on what planet? This is T-Trigger's wife, the one who pretended to be my friend for months and kept all of our audio messages in order to stalk me. The wife who doxed my friend a year ago then pretended to be my friend. She used to go by Conspiracy, but has since deleted all of her videos. She was mentioned in Petty Page's video about @spill/YT being Morgan Adams." T-Trigger then sends out a tweet that says, "This is ridiculous. You will all see my side, with receipts." I don't think it's ridiculous at all. I think it's extremely concerning. There's literally a message from you, T-Trigger, saying, "I'm going to download all of his photos and analyze them." That's extremely creepy and extremely concerning. Will quote tweeted that and said, "If your quote-unquote receipts include doxing me, I hope you have a lawyer." Will then tweeted, "My public Instagram is @I'm actually pretty amazing. They tried to dox me by downloading my public Instagram, which, as I'm showing you right now, isn't a secret. Not only are they disgusting, but they are dumb as." Of course, as this was blowing up, there was a lot of responses on Twitter, and this is what some people had to say about the situation. Creepshow Art said, "Imagine threatening to out someone's private info and downloading and combing through images of a 15-year-old because you don't believe them, and then claiming to have the moral high ground. Don't start with me, dude." Gigi with the T said, "Y'all have always been some weird, backwards, constantly calling people out for that you're also doing, and now you're actually a minor? What the is wrong with y'all, for real?" Not Another Drama Channel said, "These people who are trying to find the identity of a 15-year-old were apparently doxing @spill/YT during one of the Houston trips. This is disgusting. Why do you have such a problem with respecting people's privacy? The information is coming to light right now." Max Bose tweeted, "I'm just going to leave this here," and showed a screenshot of the conversation that Elli was having with someone that says, "I'm starting to think that this T-Spill Stan account is not a kid. They do not speak or think like a 14-year-old. And this is on December 4th, 2019, almost 2 months before T-Trigger sent that picture of Will to Elli. Now, if you saw my previous video about Elli and her thread, you would know that apparently Elli is some kind of speech analyst expert, and so she knows everything about everybody and how they talk and their beliefs. So, of course she's gonna be right, right? Well, why don't we just go ahead and hear what Elli has to say about this entire situation, but first, here is proof of Elli's age.
How old is Elli? I am 35.
So there we go. We have proof that Elli is 35, and this is what she spends her time doing on the internet. All right, now let's go ahead and hear what Elli has to say about this entire situation from her live stream where she addressed it.
Can't wait for the real tea. Yeah, nobody's prepared for this. Trust. Doxing is always bad. Absolutely. Nothing you will say will excuse you trying to dox a minor. I didn't try to dox a minor. That's my response to that. I didn't try to dox anyone, basically.
You were looking into a 15-year-old kid trying to get information. You said, "I wonder if I can remember where he said he's from." And we're going to get into a lot more disturbing things that Elli has said in her private group chats where she talks about people's identities.
I had seen Will interacting and responding to the account, one of the accounts that was involved to Here for the Tea's doxing. Here is the reason why I thought it was suspicious. Why on earth would a 15-year-old be so heavily involved and so heavily interested? Let me put it differently. So heavily interested in accounts that were created solely to dox and harass. At the time, like I explained, Will hadn't been on the video, I hadn't heard his voice, so the only thing I knew about him was that he interacted with one of the accounts that doxed Here for the Tea.
Elli, if you have a problem with somebody participating on a thread that's attempting to dox people or harass people, then what you should do is report that account to Twitter and move on. Not spend time researching that person to find out more information about them.
Jake wants no, I didn't participate. And the reason I didn't, let's say, even have to participate was that pretty much Trigger had already told me that they were looking into this whole catfish situation and they wanted to expose it, so they were doing their own research.
Basically, you're saying here, Elliot, that the reason that you quote unquote didn't participate was because somebody was already doing the work for you. However, if T Trigger and Ivy weren't looking into Will, would you have done it yourself? I'm going to go with yes because you've already said that you wanted to look into him.
I was side-eyeing every single account that interacted with the people who doxed here for the team. Now, I have never checked Will's Instagram. I have never tried to figure out who he is. I have never stalked him. I wanted to look into him before he was, like, let's say, publicly open on video and I heard his voice. I wanted to look into him.
So you, Ellie, right there saying that you wanted to look into him, do you know what that is called? That's called intent. That's what that's called.
That she had Will in a voice recording admitting that he sent Hartouche information about Here for the Team. Yes, so that's what she said. That Will was sending Hartouche information about Here for the Team. Yes, so Will is 15, and allegedly there is a voice recording of Will admitting that he sent Hartouche information to help Here for the Team's doxer. So that's one. That's on that. No, she didn't send me anything. She just told me. But what are you even talking about, Jake? That makes me no better than Jeffree Star. I never said I believed her. I just explained what I was told. If I had believed her 100%, I would have blasted that information then and there. I didn't see anything like that. I'm just telling you what I was told. I have one question. Is looking into kids not acceptable now because you guys fell out? Cube, we fell out months ago. We fell out months ago. So no, it's not about now. I explained earlier in the live that the reason I decided to put an end on this and like put everything out there was because I feel that they tried to use my friend's black outrage. So that's what I said early on.
So to me, basically what Ellie is saying here is that she actually has no problem with what they were doing, and the only reason that she is now releasing this information is because T-Trigger and his wife released damaging information on her, so she wanted to release this damaging information on them. Really, Ellie? You have no problem with this, obviously, because you sat on it for months until somebody tried to expose you for something. Wow.
In between all this, when and I think that happened before even Trigger told me that they were downloading all of his pictures because they thought he was a catfish. I think it was before that. Drama Parody DMs me that Will went to his DMs and revealed Reality's identity.
But as you can see in the screenshot here from the live, Reality is actually in the live, and they said, Will did not dox me. Let's just be clear. Will let me know right away. So there, Reality is actually saying, no, you're wrong. Will did not dox me.
My main concern in this community was first and foremost doxing and doxers. So when I hear that somebody is releasing information or helping doxers, I think that is reason enough for me to have a closer look. Because if you're 14, 15, and you think doxing is like a game and all just for shits and giggles, then I have an issue with that, yeah. And you can be 15, but I will call you out. I'm not going to stalk you like I never stalked the kid. So please stop pushing that narrative. I never stalked Will.
If you want to solve the problem of doxing, then maybe go get a job at Twitter. That might be a little bit more helpful. But as you guys take a look at this screenshot, Ellie, will you please explain to me why you're looking up the information on somebody's 6-year-old daughter? Yes, that's right. I said 6-year-old daughter. Okay, Will is on Twitter and he is making you angry with what he is saying. What did this person's 6-year-old daughter ever do to you? They're not on social media. They're not replying to accounts. You're literally stalking somebody's family and gathering information on their 6-year-old daughter. That's disgusting.
I don't care about your internet usage. I care about your involvement in doxing people. Where is the proof Will doxed? Who said Will doxed? I don't care about your internet usage. I care about your involvement in doxing people.
But that is the end for this part of the video. Definitely make sure you stay tuned for Ellie's part as well as T-Trigger and his wife's part. But I'm going to leave you off on this tweet by Truth Sleuth. She tweeted, "You know, that whole side of the drama community wanted a Dramageddon 3, but with the drama channels and not the beauty gurus. However, the tea is they got their wish. They just didn't know it would be about them and not about the people they do videos on."